It's a nice cool day out today. Not enough to, like, you know, hurt, but you know, enough that it doesn't like hurt to you know, when the wind hits your ears and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, even if it was, you know, I'd probably still get out here because I like the cold. I'm a big guy. You know, I weigh 360. Well, you know, 350 really. But you know, I weigh a significant amount that it would make a difference, you know, to have a smaller bike. That's part of why I have the bike I have now, is it helps me get out, helps me ride. It's a big wheel bike, and that's part of what the journey is, you know, is getting out and doing the exercise. And it's a lot of work for me right now. You know, it's a big journey, but it's cool enough that, like, if I get hot, it'll still be cold, you know. So we're gonna keep it kind of cool today. Might drive up to we're gonna ride up to the university, ride around a little bit, get the legs pumping, get the cardio going. You know, a lot of people give e-bikes crap. They're like, oh, it's lazy, and you know, there's a small part of it that's a little lazy. But for big guys like me, it makes a world of difference. Because for big guys like me, any movement's a lot of movement. And it takes a lot out of you, you know? But I think the most important thing is just getting out and doing it anyway, right? It's gonna suck. It's gonna take effort. You're gonna breathe heavy. People are gonna look at you and you know, maybe laugh, but that's not your job to worry about that. Who cares what those strangers think, really, at the end of the day? But you know, I could get a good 80 or 60 miles on this bike. Nothing too crazy, but enough that it would make a difference, you know. Takes bumps pretty well. It's got good shocks. It doesn't like to turn super easy. You know, it's got bigger tires, wider tires. You know, wider tires don't have the same turning clearance as smaller tires would. So you got to kind of think ahead when you're making turns. Try not to make tight angles like the one I just made. That's why I had to go up over that sidewalk there, or I guess curb, I should say. You know, these downhill moments right here are pretty nice. So we're at the Tyler University here. We're gonna keep it kind of short today, you know. We're not doing anything crazy. Just kind of getting around, getting the sun on us, getting the legs pumping, man, you know. And you know, this is part of my exercise journey. getting out, working them legs. And I think e-bikes are a very interesting way to pursue exercise. A lot of people would say that, like, oh man, you're cutting out half of the work because you're using the e-bike. Well, yeah, I mean, there are e-bikes out there that use both pedals and the electric motor. And for people who are far enough back in exercise, and obese people, and a normal bike still takes a significant amount of effort, so much to the point that a lot of people would just stop doing it altogether, right? I'm breathing pretty heavy, but I'm still moving my legs, you know what I mean? I'm still pumping, still working, still getting out and doing something, which is more than I could say, about, my past choices. Kind of quiet going through here. I don't want to bother people too much, I never noticed that they had like nice little ponds out here. This is kind of nice. I think we'll make this turn right here and swing down and check this out a little bit. Yeah, we have a nice little spot over there, a nice little sitting spot that we can kind of position up and talk a little bit. Right now I'm not even on the electric motor. I'm going downhill to not even waste the battery. Yeah, this is a nice little area. I'll set up right here. Kind of take you off here, look over the pond here. This is the Tyler, I believe the Tyler, University of Tyler, Texas. It's a pretty, it's a pretty good sized campus. Nothing too crazy, but it is pretty out here. It is pretty nice out here. Get you back on the stand here. This is really my first time messing with all of this kind of video equipment. I'm doing this as a well, I guess we could sit down and talk about that. I can pan you over so I can sit down and have a conversation with you. Right about there is going to work just fine. For the most part, in my life, I've really struggled with obesity and poor eating habits. So much to the point that, right now I'm at the heaviest weight I've ever been, with an upper limit of, I think 360 pounds. And that's a lot of weight for someone like me. I'm 5'8". I'm a bigger guy. Even if I were, at my peak physical capability, I'd probably still be around 220, 225, maybe even reaching upwards of, 230, 240. If you ever look at, my dad's a pretty good example of why I'm so large, but either way. But I've always struggled with obesity and bad eating habits and all of that bad stuff that really comes with just living in a country that prioritizes processed foods. And these last 2 years have really been a big journey of self-discovery and a spiritual pursuit. to kind of figure out who I am and who I'm going to be in my life. I damaged a lot of relationships in my day-to-day. You know, I think we've all made mistakes like that. But, you know, I started therapy almost a year ago now. And it was a nice little, you know, it's been nice. You know, my therapist is super awesome, very kind, very sweet, very knowledgeable. And I'd like to think that I'm very conscious of my faults, which is, you know, living in ignorance is bliss. And when you're aware of the negative impact of the choices you make, it makes it 10 times worse when you still ignore them, and the detrimental effects continue to rise, right? But I think for me it's important that we acknowledge those things, even if we're not doing anything about it, because it makes us aware of what's happening. And it just takes one significant moment in your life, one important relationship, one important choice to really help you drive towards being a better you. I don't really know what a better me is supposed to be. I don't think I'm supposed to know, though. I think I'm just supposed to live my life how most people are, and that means making good choices, being good to people, being kind. You know, I'm not really using, you know, like a script or anything, so this all sounds a little, you know, rambunctious and wild. I'm sorry, you know, I'm not like I don't know how the traditional YouTubers do it, but for me, this isn't really about YouTube. This is, or building a following. This is me holding myself accountable and making myself consistent enough to deserve the happiness I want. I want to enjoy my life. I want to feel proud of who I am. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a father one day that my kids can look at me and say, you know, Dad really has it together. He knows what he's doing. If, you know, if anything bad happens, he's the first one to react. He's the first one to step in. I want my friends to trust that they can come to me for advice and say, you know, hey, you know, I really need some help. I'd love your advice, and I can give sound advice and be an example of that advice, not just, you know, I can't really think of how to explain that. I want to be an example of the motivation and effort I give, so that other people view me and they can see my past life, and they can say, you know, I got a lot of things stacked against me and it really sucks, but the only one really stopping me is myself. So you know, you could say for me, this video journey, that'll come, and the effort I'll be making is really going to be a journey of self-care. Just like therapy is for the mind, I think getting out and enjoying nature, getting closer to what our natural design is, really helps strengthen the mind as well as the body, which I think is easy to forget in the day-to-day. You know, we have all these video games and indoor activities that prevent us from getting outside. We can't find, you know, we don't find value in what we're doing now. But I think for the most part, a lot of us are aware of that. But anyway, so this is my first video. This is you know, it's not going to be edited super well, but it's the truth. I'm 360 pounds. I struggle to walk short distances, even uphill, with any amount of effort because of how big I am. It hurts. you know, sometimes it's hard for me to get out of a car, and it's embarrassing for that struggle to be mine. You know, I've had moments in my life where I was incredibly, you know, very physically fit, very healthy, very strong, but I've always dropped them. And the older I get, the more I understand that it's not because I wasn't interested, it's because I wasn't healthy enough to really keep going. And so this journey, in the coming videos that you guys see, will be me pursuing a better me so that I can be better to the people around me. And I think that's all I've got. I appreciate you guys that are watching. I know that this probably isn't the most exciting video. It's really, you know, but again, it's not for you guys. It's for me. I'm just, you know, hopeful that one day, you know, a couple years in the future, someone will come along and see my video and say, you know, if he did it, then I can too. So that's my goal, is to become a better me, to motivate people who are like me, who are in my position in life where it's hard and they've got the deck stacked against them and the world's fighting against them, that it's still possible. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Chris, or Toy Collector 1997, as you may come to know me. I look forward to talking to you guys again.